Abbie and Cam are an eccentric pair of brothers hailing from Minnesota. They find themselves unemployed, lacking any notable skills and despised by their neighbors. Throughout the day, they engage in gaming and spontaneous challenges, hoping to win cash prizes. The younger brother, Abbie, eagerly participates in these challenges, while his older brother, Cam, handles recording and other logistics. In the opening scene, Abbie is deeply engrossed in playing video games on the couch. Little do we know, this is part of a challenge. Every 5 minutes, Abbie must gulp down 100 ml of milk within a strict 10-second time frame, all while remaining firmly seated on the couch, without the luxury of a bathroom break. The difficulty lies in Abbie's increasing fatigue, as he contemplates giving up multiple times. However, Cam berates him, accusing him of being a quitter who has never accomplished anything worthwhile in his life. Cam reminds Abbie that he recently quit his job, which led them to their current predicament, financially strained with no means to afford food or rent. Reluctantly, Abbie decides to persevere. Several hours pass, and the challenge persists. Abbie has made significant progress in the game, but his bladder is on the verge of bursting. He can no longer hold it. In a bid to gather some strength, he puts on a peculiar pair of glasses given to him by their incarcerated father. Their conversation reveals that their dad is in prison for assaulting a child, an act that Cam despises, while Abbie staunchly believes in their father's innocence. Cam leaves to retrieve something from another room, intending to introduce additional elements to the challenge. Seizing the opportunity, Abbie discreetly relieves himself in the nearly empty gallon of milk. When Cam returns with various items, including a magazine, he turns to a page featuring a celebrity gamer named Mitchell. This gamer has supposedly reached level 256 in Pac-Man and has issued an open challenge. A cash prize of $100,000 awaits anyone who can surpass level 257. Curious, Cam asks Abbie what he would do if he were to win the challenge, and Abbie playfully responds that he would buy a private jet. As the brothers engage in their conversation, Cam suddenly realizes that the gallon of milk has gone missing. He questions Abbie about its whereabouts, and reluctantly, Abbie presents the container. Unaware of his brother's actions, Cam remains determined to finish the contents of the gallon. Abbie attempts to explain that he can't consume anymore, but Cam refuses to accept it. He insists on continuing the challenge no matter what, pouring the liquid onto Abbie's bottle and initiating the countdown. However, Abbie's stomach rebels, causing him to vomit uncontrollably, creating a messy scene. The challenge reaches its conclusion with great effectiveness, leaving Cam in a state of fury. Once again, he scolds his brother for giving up so easily. Cam expresses his frustration, emphasizing the expensive camera rental that will now have to be returned without any profit. Abbie is deeply moved by Cam's words and makes a heartfelt promise to take on another challenge and see it through to the end. Cam suggests that Abbie should tackle Mitchell's challenge, which involves reaching level 257 of Pac-Man while remaining glued to the couch as a punishment for his recent failures. As Cam begins packing his belongings, announcing his plan to stay with friends and return on New Year's Eve, he reminds Abbie that the camera is recording everything. After Cam departs, Abbie decides to approach the challenge in his own unique way. He contacts his friend, Dallas, and requests him to bring pizza, drinks, and a movie. An hour later, Dallas arrives and immediately starts complaining about the unpleasant odor emanating from the room. He mocks Abbie for being unemployed and viewing challenges as a means of earning money. Dallas then delivers some unpleasant news. He couldn't bring the pizza because his ex-girlfriend was present, and he didn't want to face her. Upon hearing this, Abbie suggests grabbing a sandwich from the freezer instead. Dallas complies, but not before taking a bite out of the sandwich. Additionally, Dallas refuses to hand over the drinks until he is paid for them. Despite Abbie's genuine thirst, Dallas remains adamant. However, he devises his own challenge, taping the bottles of drinks to his hands and engaging in peculiar movements. Fed up with the situation, Abbie puts on his glasses and stares at his strange friend in anger. Surprisingly, this causes the caps of the bottles to blow off, catching Dallas off guard. Intrigued, Dallas begins to wonder if the glasses possess some kind of superpower. Ignoring Abbie's lack of response, Dallas proceeds to pour most of the drinks onto the floor. He then plays the movie he brought, which turns out to be a cartoon, further infuriating Abbie. He berates Dallas, labeling him as a useless individual who enjoys mocking others. Once he calms down, Abbie requests that Dallas resume the video game so that he can continue with the challenge. Dallas complies before preparing to leave. As he exits, he tosses a nearly empty bottle towards Abbie, who cherishes it as though it were a precious treasure. Later that night, as Abbie's supplies dwindle, he attempts to retrieve a cup from the floor without standing up, using a selfie stick as a tool. Unfortunately, the cup contains a multitude of cockroaches, leaving Abbie hungry and thirsty for the remainder of the night. The following morning, 2 fumigators arrive at the apartment and wake Abbie up. They inform him of their intention to fill the place with insecticide gas to eliminate the pests that have been troubling the neighboring tenants. Requesting Abbie to step outside, they are met with his predictable refusal. Determined to break his habit of quitting, Abbie is resolute in completing the challenge no matter what. However, the fumigators are unmoved and decide to lift the couch in order to move him outside. Left with no other choice, Abbie makes a promise to give them half of his earnings once he successfully completes the challenge. Although skeptical, the fumigators reluctantly agree and leave. Soon after, they spray the entire apartment with toxic insecticide and depart. Abbie remains on the couch wearing a face mask and munching on a leftover sandwich he discovered on the floor. He tries to play for a while but succumbs to extreme fatigue and dehydration, eventually passing out. That night, Abbie's friend Aaron arrives and wakes him up, surprised by his current condition and the darkness in the apartment due to the lights not working. Abbie explains that he has dedicated everything to complete Mitchell's challenge. Aaron's surprise deepens as she reveals that reaching level 257 in Pass, man is deemed impossible due to a glitch on the 256th level that prevents anyone from progressing beyond it. However, Abbie remains hopeful, driven by the need for money to support his incarcerated father. As they continue conversing, Aaron's co-worker, Cortez, arrives at the door. An arrogant individual who enjoys bullying others, he immediately complains about the foul smell and urges Irene to leave with him. When she requests some time, Cortez starts provoking Abbie, sharing derogatory information about his father, branding him as a child assaulter with a history of wrongdoings. Abbie refutes these claims, asserting that his father was an honest, hard-working man who was falsely accused and framed by malicious individuals. He explains that his father was attempting to help a girl at the gas station, but his actions were misinterpreted by the authorities. Despite Abbie's clarification, Cortez continues his bullying, finally reaching his breaking point. Abbie unleashes his special glasses, giving Cortez a menacing look that causes the latter to experience chest pain. Before the situation escalates further, Aaron intervenes, stopping Abbie from taking it any further. Aaron and Cortez angrily leave the apartment together, with Aaron vowing to never return. Abbie feels a slight disappointment, not because his friend is leaving him, but because she didn't bring any food for him. Continuing his game undeterred, Abbie wakes up the following morning drenched in sweat. Extreme dehydration and the closed windows leave him choking for air. With nothing to drink, he resorts to licking the sweat from his body in hopes of re-energizing himself. The plan works to some extent, providing Abbie with a boost of energy. He then attempts to reach the window to open it, utilizing various objects within his reach, but none of them prove effective. Ultimately, he relies on his trusty glasses as his ultimate tool. Putting them on, Abbie signals the window to open but misjudges his powers, causing the window glass to shatter and allowing a dead bird to enter the room. Examining the bird, Abbie realizes that it's raining outside. He tries to collect rainwater by using a camera tripod, but his efforts end in failure. Desperation sets in, leading him to collect the tiny droplets seeping through the walls. However, the rain stops and the droplets disappear, leaving Abbie frustrated. He resorts to calling Dallas once again, attempting to manipulate him into bringing food. Abbie concocts a fake challenge where they have to eat a pizza in 5 minutes. Dallas sees through the deception, hangs up the call, and Abbie's already delirious state intensifies, resulting in him smashing objects in anger. Later, a new idea strikes Abbie's mind. He remembers seeing a water pipe on the exterior wall and begins banging on the corresponding spot inside the room with his tripod. After some trial and error, he manages to locate a pipe, albeit the wrong one, the toilet pipe, which starts filling the room with filthy water. Despite the setback, Abbie persists, continuing to strike the wall. Eventually, his persistence pays off, and he discovers the drinking water pipe. In the subsequent scene, Abbie remains on his couch, still engrossed in the video game. The surroundings have undergone drastic changes. with Abbie sporting a long beard, indicating a significant passage of time without leaving the couch. The window remains open, and he resorts to hunting and cooking birds for sustenance. Fortunately, the water supply remains abundant. In summary, Abbie's appearance resembles that of a caveman. One night, as Abbie plays, his neighbors celebrate an occasion by setting off fireworks in the sky. Using this as motivation, he puts on his glasses and focuses intensely on the game. Surprisingly, he manages to conquer the supposedly impossible level 256 of Pac-Man. Abbie celebrates his victory alone, reveling in the belief that he possesses godlike abilities. The following morning, Cam finally arrives at the apartment with a friend. He is astonished to find his brother still sitting on the couch. When asked, Abbie proudly reveals that he has successfully completed Mitchell's challenge and is now seeking an even more challenging one. Curious about the passage of time, Abbie asks Cam what day it is, to which Cam responds that they just celebrated the 4th of July the previous night. Revelation shocks Abbie as it means he has been confined to the couch for over 6 months. As their conversation continues, Cam shares the devastating news that their father has passed away due to the catastrophic state of the outside world. Crime rates have escalated, global warming has worsened, and people have resorted to cannibalism. It is likely that their father fell victim to this grim reality. In the midst of their discussion, Cam discovers one of Abbie's birds in a box. The decomposing and partially eaten bird disgusts Cam, but Abbie considers it his pet, mocking the situation. Cam taunts Abbie, which triggers a surge of anger in him. Determined to teach his brother a lesson, Abbie finally rises from the couch, harnessing his telekinetic powers. The glasses he wears start to glow, causing Cam to experience a sudden and excruciating headache. In the next moment, Cam's explodes into fragments. In the final scene, someone enters through the door, prompting Abbie to smile for the first time in months. Slowly, he hands his favorite knife to the person, possibly his father, indicating a sense of completion or fulfillment in his journey. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to help this channel grow. Turn on the bell icon to get the latest video notifications from this channel. See you in the next video.